Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. It is Friday. I felt like this was one of the longest weeks. Good morning, Paulo. So you here a few minutes early. Uh yeah. Amazon done delivered my package to the wrong address, and I was outside trying to stalk my neighbors before they left, but they already left. And I'm like, I needed that package early in the morning for a reason. Gotta love Amazon. So hopefully someone in the house will bring me the package, or when I finish, I'll be back out stalking them. But I woke up this morning and this was on my mind. This topic, the part of healing that no one ever talks about, and I talk about it because I've experienced it. So with a lot of people, and you may not understand depending on your journey, but there are a lot of people out there that are healing from things, and the healthy side of that healing they have never experienced before. Excuse me. So because they're now on this journey and they're healing, they don't know what to do. Like they don't have that blueprint. Good morning, Bola. They don't have that blueprint. Or they just don't know that it's possible to go into this new territory. And I always like to connect everything to what I have experienced in my own journey. So many of you may or may not know, but I have never been in like a very healthy, good relationship, right? I have been in relationships where I have been abused, I have been manipulated, I have been with someone who didn't like me. Like I've had a really crazy dating history, and that's why like once I got into my 30s, I took a lot of time away from dating because I had a lot to heal from, on top of daddy issues and things of that nature. And so in 2021, that's when I invested in. I call her a love coach, and she really helped me to like look at the relationships with a new lens and start to prepare for like the healthy unknown territory, because even she was like that, like most people have that one relationship that they can compare to, like, oh, if I wish I could be be with so and so, and because that was the best relationship, despite having all of these other unhealthy relationships. They always had like one that they can, you know, um, think about, manifest, things like that. And I didn't have that. Like, I have gotten to a place in my life, which I'm so thankful for. I don't want any of my exes, right? I don't want any of my exes. And it's not to say that they're bad people. I just have grown so much that I know that what that relationship, I mean, at least from the version that I remember, I don't want any of those versions, because I am now in a healing space and I want healthy love. And I know what that looks like a little bit better, because I also have never seen healthy marriages, right? Prior to age of 26. And it was when I started to my first full-time teaching job, that was the first time that I ever seen a healthy relationship, where there was mutual respect, love, um, like for one another. And I was able to see that beautiful relationship up until the day he died, because her husband passed away 2 years ago. Oh, 3 years ago now. So yeah, so I am like, I talk about this because I know what that feels like. I know it's like you do all this great work, you're healing, you do all this inner work, you're facing your demons, you're doing your affirmations, you're doing all of that great stuff. And then you go into this new world and you don't even know how to function in it, right? Because you just, all you know is that you don't want what you had before, but you still don't know how to now function. And I remember the first person that I had dated in 2021, well, the only person I dated in 2021, But when I was dating him, he was like the first person that I would ever like just have this peace, right? Like normally I'm the type of girl, if we set up a date, you're telling me where we're going, because you're not coming to my house. You're not gonna know where I live. Like I had all of these rules. Like I was really, really strict back then. And then when I met him, I remember like the day he called me, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Let's go out. Let's go to dinner. I want to take you to this spot in Jersey. I don't want you to drive because I don't want you to have to pay a toll on top of me paying a toll. So let me pick you up." And I was just like, "Okay, not a problem. Sure, absolutely." Like I was, as they like to say, the catchphrases. I was tapping into my feminine energy, right? Because normally I don't tap into that, and I know that back then I definitely wasn't tapping into it. And so I was really like, when I reflect back on that first date, I remember just being so calm, not overthinking, not thinking that this man is going to kidnap me. This man is going to harm me in any way. I wasn't creating all of these narratives. So I was intentionally not trying to self-sabotage. I wanted to fully experience this new world that I had never dealt with, because normally I am the one setting up the dates. I'm the one making the plans. I'm the one that has to drive. And sometimes I had to drive them, and not because there was like any physical reason why they couldn't. It was just because they didn't want to. They wanted to be the passenger princess, right? These are my realities, and I gotta just accept them for what they were. But when I got with this person, it was like day and night, and I had to learn how to handle that, right? Because sometimes we instantly go into that. I don't need you to do this for me. I don't need that, and it's like, no, no, we can't do that anymore. So this is the reason why I wanted to talk about this today, because it is not discussed often enough, if at all. Okay, so the first thing is that we got to look at healing. Healing is a door, right? It's a door, and you hear people say all the time, it's not a destination, and it's the truth, right? So healing is a door, healing is a destination. I mean, it's a journey, it's not a destination. So we hear that all the time. And so like I said earlier, so many times we focus on the things that we're healing from, that we tend to forget that you're healing into something new. I need y'all to catch that. So many times we're only focusing on the things that we are healing from, that we forget that you're technically healing into something new. This is the reason why it is important for you to start. Not yesterday, Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday, Bola was here as well. And she, Bola speaks a lot about community, and that's the one thing I do really love. Sometimes you have to go out there and you have to find those people that are doing that new thing, right? And who are open, right? And this is the reason why I love to open and share, because sometimes people just hear these catchphrases and they don't really know what those things mean. Sometimes people are just saying things and you're thinking that they mean what you're meaning, but they don't. And again, I know for me personally, I have watched my good healthy hands of videos of content creators and experts that talk about healing. And again, it's always the things that we're healing from, but no one is talking about the things that you're going to heal into. You're healing into that new love, that new pace, that new peace, the new standards. You're healing into all of these new things. But if you have never experienced it, how do you maneuver through that? Right? So the one thing that has been very helpful for me is I have been doing a lot of self-reflection, right? I have, and this can be, I've done this with my therapist. I've been working with my therapist since 2022. And trust me, here, even in 2025, we are still uncovering new things that I have never faced, or new things that I healed from years ago. And it was just like, you healed it and you just put it on a shelf and you never touched it. So now you want to take it off the shelf, and now you want to go explore. You have no instructions, right? Because even if you did have the instructions, you probably threw the instructions out a long time ago. So you have no instructions, you have no guidance. And so now you have to find support. Right. And so I don't know if you guys are like me. I'm the type of person, if I cannot find the instructions, because I'm telling you, these people would send you products with no instructions. So I will go on YouTube typically, and I will try to find a video of a person who is telling you how to put it together, how to use it, because someone out there knows exactly what I mean. Because when they got the package, they also realized there's no instructions here. I need to create this because someone else out there is going to be confused. And I love people like you because you and I think the same way. You're creating the instructions for people that have no clue because they also got to this point in their journey and then no one told them, okay, so this is how it's going to look. This is how you're going to respond. This is how your body's going to respond. It's going to respond different. Like, if no one ever talked to me about those feelings of, having that peaceful feeling when you're in someone's presence that you actually like and they like you and this true affection, I would have been like, nope, this don't feel right because my body has never experienced that. If I reflect back to most of my past relationships, when someone went to go touch me, y'all hear me tell the story? I had an ex-boyfriend. He went to go touch my hand. He went to go hold my hand, and I popped the crap out of him because I'm like, why are you touching me? Right? I'm not affection naturally. I had to heal from those unhealthy things. And then when I got to this new part, I was single for several years. So now, do you see what God had to do for me to open up and get a little bit of affection? He had to send an 11-pound chihuahua to help me to build and to experience this level of affection because I'm in a new city, right? So I can't just go to what I'm very familiar with. Like there are people in New York that I can always tap into. I have like that one guy friend that gives amazing hugs, but we don't see each other enough for me to like really hold on to that. But God said, I'm gonna send you a whole chihuahua to help you experience this new thing because you don't know what that feels like. You're gonna make it seem like it's a bad thing, and you're gonna run away from it. Oh, because Tanisha is a runner, okay? And I know these things about myself because I have done all of that work. But I know that I can't run if I want to meet that man. I know that I can't run when see, I don't run from like jobs. It just be like certain things that relationships I may run from. One hard thing I might just be like, God, I'm not doing this anymore. And that is also another way that God is working on me because it's like the person made a mistake. Do you just throw them away? And sometimes my first answer is, yeah, but that's not the case, right? So for those of you that have children, you know what I'm talking about because your child makes a mistake, your child spills something, breaks something. You don't just go say, I'm taking them to ACS or whatever, and DIFUS, whatever you're in your county that they call them. You don't do that. But for some people, like myself, I tend to do that. You make one mistake, oh, it's a wrap. And God has been working on me saying, no, 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 no. That can't be, that you can't take that into the new season. So I really want you to look at it that way. Focus on the things that you have healed from, and then start to find like, how do you heal into this new thing? How do you now maneuver, especially if it does exist right now in your life? Like I said, for most of my 30s, single. So a lot of the things that I have been healing from and I've been talking about, you go through my videos, you hear me talking all about these things, and you'll probably be like, okay, that sounds great. But I can honestly tell you it's been very difficult because moving to the next step, because I haven't met someone that I can say, you know what, God, I'm gonna lean into this. Right? I'm not leaning into just anyone to experiment. We're not doing that. Right. So I would rather stay on that elf on the shelf until that person comes, until I know that God is saying, yes, this is where you can lean into. Because you can get off that shelf and go right back into the bad habits, go right back into the unhealthy relationships. And I don't want you to do that as well. The second thing is that sometimes when we are healing and we're leaning into the things that we have never known before, it's 100% unfamiliar for you. So I can only imagine you feel unsafe when you're doing it, even though it's healthy. You feel unsafe doing the healthy things because you have never done the healthy thing. You have never been in that healthy relationship. Some of you have never been in a healthy job. There's so many people right now, and I talk about this. I used to talk about this a lot because I had worked at this crazy place back in 2014, and it was the most unhealthiest organization that I've ever worked in, and I made good money. But when I say that, that's why I tell people money doesn't mean anything. right? So when I left that place and I did go back into another organization that felt safe, I was questioning it. I was just like, are y'all sure y'all really act like this? Like, is this, and luckily God placed someone there that I knew, and she helped me to navigate this new healthy, and to help me to feel safe again. Because prior to that, we also had worked at another crazy organization back in the early 2000s together. So we had similar understandings of, this does not feel right because this feels too good to be true. Y'all heard those terms? Oh, this is too good to be true. That's what it feels like when you're going into these unfamiliar, unsafe environments, because you're like, this feels really great. Well, I get Fridays off and I still get paid. Wait, even though I'm part-time, I get 2 weeks of vacation. Wait, this is not normal. I can leave because we've actually finished the work and we're just not sitting around just because. Oh my goodness. Like, and I'm getting paid well more than enough. Oh my gosh. Like, are you sure this is real? Sometimes we're waiting for that shoe to fall off, right? We're waiting for the ball to drop. And so I want you to understand, if you've never seen healthy love, any healthy boundaries or emotional safety, that they can feel very uncomfortable. And I don't want you to run away from that. You're going to hear me refer to this, because so many times I'm starting to hear more stories of people discussing this, not so much in the direct way of this, but they have realized, like, dang, I was self-sabotaging. Like, I ran away from something that was really good for me. I walked away because it felt too good to be true. We don't trust our gut feeling. We don't trust what God is telling us. Have you ever been in a situation where you spoke to God, God gave you the answer, God told you, yes, this is where I need you to go. You get there, it feels so uncomfortable because it feels too good to be true. And now you're like, God, are you sure about this? Like, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe I heard wrong. Because that's how I felt, right? I felt that way when I worked at that job. I got there and I was just like, and I remember because I got baptized May 5th. And May 5th was the Saturday after I had that week of like all these job interviews, right? And I'm gonna get to your comments, Bola. We had the week of all those job interviews. I got 3 job offers. 2 of those was a deciding factor between this full-time job working as a contractor with the city, and then this nonprofit part-time that ultimately ended up being equal pay as what the full-time job was going to offer me with less work. And I heard God tell me exactly, like, this is the name of the company is the word that I heard when they pulled me up out the water when I got baptized. And I still walked in there because my body was not used to this. I'm like, huh. Now, Bola just said something that we all know. And it's like, sometimes people will hear this, like, you have to believe you deserve better. And I think because, you know, you have to heal from this. You have to renew your mind about it. And Bola also said that because I always say those terms got to renew your mind. There are still certain things that people don't believe that they deserve, right? And so when they look at it, and again, I'm gonna stay in the realm of work, because there's some people out there, you are on the fence about something and you're like, look, I don't want to stay here because this is not healthy. Or you might be on that fence of you're questioning because it is too good to be true, right? I read articles and I follow people some people I actually know, but they work at like remote only companies. And these people have like the best life. They get paid really well. They truly work at a company that has unlimited PTO. They get the support, they get the professional development. And so one young lady, I do remember, she said she had to like really change her mindset about work because all she knew was micromanagement. All she knew was, low pay, crappy benefits, the standard 2 weeks vacation, 5 days, or 3 days of sick time for the whole year. Like that's all that she knew. So when she walked into this brand new organization and they gave her like the red carpet treatment, she said one of the first things that she had to work on was telling herself, "Girl, you deserve this. Like you don't ward with $50,000 and you deserve $100,000, and now you're working someplace and you're probably doing half of the work for $125,000." You know what I'm saying? So it's like you really have to believe that this is something that you deserve, and that especially if God brings it into your life. If He brings it into your life, then there you go. Like it's meant for you. When I worked at that place, the place after the crazy in 2018, that was one of the most amazing feelings. I think the only thing that frustrated me about that job was that we had too many meetings, and it was like not enough staff members to have all of these meetings, right? I see Bola over here. I see Bola and I see Paula. Hold on, sorry. So Bola first said, "I'll take off my glasses as I put this up." Right, smart Tanisha. So you're deserving as the daughter of the King. Absolutely, this is why it's important to ask God each step of the way, each step forward the way. Absolutely. And oh no, absolutely. And that's why I said like that actually has unlimited PTO, right? Because I know I've heard people that talk about the trap and the lies, because some companies will use unlimited PTO as a way to get people in, and they don't follow through. But I know a lot of people that work at companies that they get unlimited PTO, and there's limitations, but it's not as much red tape, right? I've seen some of them. People talk about this all the time on social media, and they'll show like the policies. And I remember I saw one, and it was like unlimited PTO, but they showed the calendar. Half the calendar was blacked out. So it was like, yeah, when are we gonna take off? Like, there's only 52 weeks out the year. Most companies take away at least one week, so that's 51 weeks. And if you're blocking out like 30 weeks, bro, where's the unlimited? Right. But I do have a girl I went to college with, and I mean, she was just, and this was not no remote work. This was, I'm logging out, computers at home, work phone is at home. I'm in Italy, I'm over here in Bali. Like, she was really, because she really had that unlimited. So you got to be very careful with a lot of these benefits, but still, like, some look, I know I've never had it personally. I would love to have it, but with the right company, right? Because again, I know that I'm not an abuser of my time anyway. But if you're gonna knock out half of the year and say these are all blackout days, then just give me 3 weeks and let me play with my hours the way I want to do it myself. Right? Because I'm telling you, sometimes them jobs do it. So the last thing is that I want to say in regards to this is, I want you to give yourself grace while you adjust. And I say that to myself because if anyone's going to be hard on Tanisha, it's going to be Tanisha. So I know that as I am learning to navigate this new path, and just any new path that I have been on, I had to give myself some grace to understand that, one, it wasn't my fault that I never experienced, right? I see conversations and, oh, I don't want to be with a woman that her dad that wasn't raised by her father. But that wasn't her fault. So you're gonna possibly, especially if this young woman or this woman has done a lot of the healing, she's not carrying around the resentment. She's ready to love. She's ready to, be that partner, that helpmate with you, for you, love on you. But you're gonna eliminate her from an option based off of something that she did not, right? Right? That is not a healthy thing. That's not someone that you would want to be with. But when you meet those people, and I've heard stories, you hear stories because, and Bola and I, we was talking about this the other day. But it always makes me think about when you hear those stories of women that go into, they're in a season of healing. And I've done this before. So let me tell my story. So in 2016, 2017, I know I was like going through it. I'm one of those people, if my finances are all over the place, if I don't know if my housing is secure, if I cannot like literally know that my bank account is going to receive the money I need to move forward, I will not try to pursue any kind of relationships. Um, I'm like tunnel vision. And I remember when in this particular time, I had met this guy, um, and he was like, "Yo, I'm really interested in you." And I told him, I was like, "No, I'm all right." I was like, and I ended up telling him my honesty, like, "Look, I'm like, bro, I'm good. Like, I have no desire." Because he was talking about, he was like, I want to get married, and I'm like, bro, yeah, I'm not looking at that. And he was one of the first people that stayed, but was able to help me to see and look at God's journey in my life. And he didn't judge me. He didn't criticize me. He actually helped me a lot. He helped me. He had bought me groceries one time. When I did start my new job, he bought me a monthly Metro card. Like, he was a really great person. And the only reason why things didn't work out between that was because when we both prayed, like you heard me talk about him before. We prayed and we fast together, and we both heard no. And once we heard no, we just was like, good luck, good luck and everything. Bola and Paula over here having a good old time. So let me see what's going on over here. So I did. I saw Bola said, "It's not your person. A real person, a real one extends grace as he or she has been given grace by God." You know what, Bola? You know how many people don't realize that? A lot of people don't realize the reason why we should be giving grace to people, because just for that reason, because God has given many of us a lot of grace. Okay. Um, Paula said, "If you create healthy friendships, and then other healthy relationships will follow." Absolutely. And unfortunately, honestly, Paula, I think that's one of the hardest parts. That's the hard part for most people, because we live in a society where, because I don't know, have y'all heard this? Tell me if y'all heard this narrative lately. I want to say within the last year, I've been hearing married couples saying that their spouse is not their best friend. Like, that's not my like that's my husband, that's my wife. Like, they don't see them as like one of their best friends. It doesn't have to be your only best friend. But I know for me, at least for me, I want that person to be my best friend. I want when something funny happens that they're one of the first people, if not the first person that I'm going to and being like, "Yo, babe, let me show you. This is so crazy. This is so funny." Like, that's what my brain is waiting for. That's what I'm excited for. Right. So I definitely want that. Yeah. So Bola did hear that. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy that I wasn't the only person that has heard that, because I'm just like, wait, so y'all wasn't friends? But when you realize and you look and listen, right, listen to how people relationships start. A lot of times you would see, like, most people, they met on a Monday, and because of sometimes, and this is not all, but some people, because whatever the situation might be in their life, that's what they cling on to that person. So you hear some people, Paula, stay under that rock. Paula, stay under that rock. See, I engage only because this is content to bring, to have conversation. But stay under that rock, Paula. You don't need that. You don't need that in your life. But I want to bring, so I don't know. I just want someone that is going to give me some grace, right? And I will also extend that grace to them, because especially if you communicate and you let me know, this is a new feeling for me. Oh, I haven't felt this in a long time. Like, or this is kind of uncomfortable. Like, I'm big on communication. So sometimes you have to communicate that. Sometimes God may say, don't, because some people might run from that, right? If someone heard me say, "Oh, I've never been in a healthy relationship," a man might run away from that. Like, and that's another crazy thing I've heard. I gotta stop listening to these crazy people, these clips. But someone has said, like, "I don't want to be a woman's first healthy relationship." Anyone that doesn't want to be someone's first healthy relationship, to me, tells me you don't intend on having a healthy relationship. I'm just saying. That's just how and I've heard that from like two different people. But I cannot wait for us to experience all of these amazing things that God has for us. So I just want to encourage you, right? And y'all know I have a prompt for y'all. I just want to first encourage you to continue, stay on that journey. Despite what other people are telling you, um, healing doesn't matter, healing is impossible. Cut the noise, find the people, come back here Monday to Friday. We are here. We're talking about things like this. Healing is one of my main topics that I talk about. And I want you to have a space that you can, right? So I want you to absolutely believe that you can heal from those unhealthies, but that you can grow and heal into something new, and you are going to have an amazing experience while you are experiencing that. That's what I believe. That's what I'm going to pray for all of us, whatever you're dealing with, because that's what's most important, right? So yeah, Bola, we are all broken, and so many people don't feel like they're broken, and I don't get into those conversations. I'm one of those. I'm a plant the seed. I ain't got to water it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we do have all unhealthy habits and traits and things of us and experiences, things that we have intentionally contribute to our lives, and then we have things that, again, like I said, being judged or being passed upon because your daddy wasn't around, and they making it some way somehow to be your fault. Like, people are weird. But this is why we got to continue to find our people, right? And find our community, our tribe. A.R. Bernard, he's a pastor in Brooklyn at CCC. He had posted a slideshow for men, but one of the slides said, find a mentor. And I had shared that. So many people also, you need a mentor, someone, again, who's walking that walk. So like I said, when I first started to have questions about healthy relationships, I tapped even more into my old supervisor, who has now really become my spiritual mom. And I would tap into her. And I remember I used to have, like, the person I was with at the time, we was having some issues, and like I would call her and she would, like, pray with me. She would, give me guidance on helping me to understand what was going on. It was just a beautiful thing. And I always say we all do need that. So the prompt that I have for y'all today is, am I rejecting something good because I don't recognize it as safe, or is it because I've never seen it before? Right. And I want you to reflect on that and utilize that in any manner that you need. So whether it's relationships, friendships, career, moving, like, this can apply to so many different aspects of your life. So this is the reason why you heard me talk about two different aspects: work and relationships. We're not focusing on just one because everyone doesn't have the same stories. But I want you to be able to take these principles and be able to apply them to any aspect of your life, not just a one size fit all, right? So Bola and Paula is agreeing with each other. Oh, I know. Oh no, Paula was saying that yes, we all have unhealthy habits, right? Yes, we should. Yeah, we should create a friendship tribe. We definitely do need that. And believe it or not, that's the one thing that I am appreciating about being in Tulsa, because I feel like at 40 years old, I'm starting to cultivate brand new adult friendships with like-minded individuals where we all have our shortcomings and we help fuel one another based off of those shortcomings. So one person might be dynamic in business, blowing out the waters, net profit every quarter, but might be, struggling in the mindset about, relationships, or just about healing as a whole. And so I may be able to tap into helping them in that, and then they can help and give me guidance and inspiration on, on business or social media. Like, we have to start to, bring those things back. So you got to really figure that out for yourself, and really just see, like, how can we cultivate even more. And I actually, Bola, that's so funny because on my list of videos, so yeah, you know I have an SEO person, and one of my videos ideas is how to create friendships as adults. because I'm seeing a lot, and I've experienced some, friendships breaking up, because you're holding on to these old connections that no longer are serving you in your current season. Or you might just realize, like, one day this person really isn't my friend. Like, everyone is kind of going through something different, and now they're in search of what is a new friend and how do I do that. And I just wanted to share. So I think I am going to work on that video this weekend. Paula said one of her favorite songs is Broken in All the Right Places. Oh, let me write that down. Let me write that down. I'm gonna take a quick picture of that because I don't think I'm one of those people. I'm really bad with songs. Like, I would know a song, but if you was to, like, oh yeah, I know this song by so and so, I'll be like, oh, that's the name of the song. I'm that girl. I'll be like, oh, what's the name of the song? I never knew that. Yes, Paula, thank you for sharing that song. I will be tapping in right after we log out of here. But yeah, so we are at the 35-minute mark. So let's get out of here. So as always, you know I'm here Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. I appreciate when you guys come and you join me live. And if you are brand new, you have not liked or subscribed, hit that like or subscribe button as well down below. For my people on Facebook, these videos will always last on YouTube. So come on over to the YouTube family and you'll be able to get access to all of them even after they get taken down from Facebook. But if you are not connected with me, please go over to my link tree and you can connect and learn about my books, my community, and my courses and my blog. And you can just get all the information that you need to connect with me, even if you want to email me as well. But yeah, so we are here. It is now okay, so Paula gave us a song, and then, oh yeah, I know Renew Your Mind. I know, oh no, that's Paula's second one. Okay, Paula got a second one. All right, so Paula, she's gonna have us a playlist. Paula, I'm just saying, I'm just gonna encourage you. So Spotify allows you to create playlists, and you can share those playlists. So I'm just gonna encourage you, my friends, to do that. Yeah, you can just create a playlist, and you can be like renewing of the mind playlist, and you can share that, right? That just helps people. If you have like 5 songs, Paula, you can put that together. And I wouldn't have no problem promoting that. Y'all can also go to my link tree. I did a playlist when we were doing the Living and Thriving as Miss Inspiration. I did do one of those playlists. So that's the only reason why I'm sharing that. But yeah, let's get out of here. Yeah, have a great day. Have an amazing weekend. I look. I'm still hearing the weather's looking crazy over there on the East Coast, right? Uh, you had what fires? You had fires shooting at y'all. You had the hail yesterday. Someplace had a tornado. Yeah, we just all got to stay prayed up, and I pray that all of you stay safe and Paula work on that Spotify list. That's your homework for the weekend, and I will talk to you all soon. You all have a great day. Paula used to be a DJ. Paula, yeah. Paula, Inspiration and Trailblazers. You have not scheduled your one-on-one. I'm gonna call you out. We need to get you. We need to get a session. We need to get your session in because I'm learning too many amazing things about you, Paula. But I'm happy that I'm learning them about you. So yeah, stay safe from them storms. And y'all all just do well. And I love you guys. I see you all on Monday. Have a good one. Share this message on your timeline, on your stories, wherever, because I think this is one that many people need to hear. And you're going to see many clips about them. I promise that. All right. I love you guys. God loves you. Be well and have a great day. Absolutely, Paul. I look forward to seeing you on my calendar. Okay. Talk to y'all guys soon.